living free. Robert Ferguson's got the plan you need. With diet-free life, it's the key. No more starving, getting rid of inflammation. Choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information. Bringing balance to hormones and insulin through food. With DFL, teaching you food choices to see you through. DFL, we're teaching you to eat food right. Teaching you to pair food with each bite. Balancing our body's microbiome, feels so right. With diet-free life, it helps futures lose pride.
What's up, everybody? This is yours truly, Robert Ferguson, your nutritionist, a guy who shares because I care, and today is no different. I really care. And we are going to talk about something today that touches me deeply. I mean, deeply, because it's framed around kids, and it's framed around a world that we live in that many people are being challenged with their health and their well-being and their excitement with hope because of information they're not aware of. But today, that's all going to change. So I want to thank everyone who is listening in to the live or the replay. And it is my goal to share with you information that can prove beneficial for you, for your family, your loved ones, especially for those young people and older people who are being challenged with autism, ADHD, and some of the other behavioral challenges that come with life that we live in. And what many people aren't aware of is the nutrition component tied to improving these things that we do have concerns with. And today, I will have joining us Dr. Joseph Hiblin, who is someone who I am highlighting and featuring in my Food as Medicine conference, course, and certification. And he will be going into great detail on many of the things that we will talk about today. And I will also have certified nutrition, health, and weight loss coach, Susie Lopez, who will be joining me in our time together and talking about things that she has observed, as well as, I believe, heart-touching information that can be quite motivating for anyone who's listening to our conversation today. And then all of you guys. So I want to thank you for being here, because this is going to be quite insightful, to say the least. So in order to get the ball rolling or to get things started, let me bring on Susie. We'll chat a little bit, and then I'm going to introduce you to Dr. Joseph Hiblin. And if you have questions along the way, please post your questions in the area where you can post them. And if you're catching a replay, post your questions, whether you're on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. We always go back and we scan through and we look for questions. But if you have a specific question you want to send directly to me, my email is robert@dietfreelife.com. Again, that's Robert, ROBERT, at diet, DIET, free, FREE, okay, life. So diet free life. Who doesn't want a diet free life? .com. So Robert at diet free life. So without further delay, and actually, before I bring on Susie, let me just let you guys know that at this very moment, as I'm recording this presentation, the only reason why you don't see me live is because I am not in my best health. I just got diagnosed with COVID. I feel good about it. I'm okay. I tested yesterday, didn't show it, but everything in me kept saying, you know what, test again. So I tested again. And so I do have COVID. Okay. So I'm a little tired. I'm a little fatigued, but let me tell you, I am lifted because of what we're talking about. And I am a believer. And so that's why I'm able to do this, because this is information that I do not want to push off. I want to talk about this now because I want to help make a difference in some people's lives. And I want you guys to spread the word and share this video with other people, because we're about to tap into newfound hope. Okay, newfound hope. And a lot of that is going to be based on updated information and becoming informed about something that you may not be informed about. Okay, so without further delay, let's bring her on. What's up, Susie?
Hi, Robert. Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here. I can't wait. Can't wait.
Well, we are happy to have you here, Susie. So be real quick, if you don't mind, introduce yourself to those who are listening to us live.
Yes, I'm Susie Lopez. I'm a nutrition and weight loss coach, and I do teach the diet-free life methodology, the one Robert just quickly mentioned. And yes, who doesn't want to live diet-free, right? This is a way that I've lived for over 9 years now. Initially lost almost 70 pounds. I have kept the weight off. So if you want to know more about that, I'm definitely open to sharing more. My information is going to be, I believe, here as well. But yeah, I'm just excited to be here and to get into this topic. I just see so much potential and just like you're saying, a new hope for parents, for families. So I'm excited, Robert.
All right, well, let's dive in because I don't want people to wait. I mean, we're talking about supporting children with autism and ADHD. And so if you don't mind, Susie, it'd be great if you would share your experience. And let me preface, we have a product that we want people to know about, and it's called Balance Oil. And what makes it unique is that Balance Oil is a combination of both omega-3s, quality omega-3s, and people have heard about that. But what makes it unique is that it's combined with polyphenols. And when you have the combination of polyphenols, which we'll talk a little bit more about, and these things called omega-3s, when they're together, that's when you optimize or maximize the benefits of the omega-3s. And this is something that I'm telling you right now. If you have a kid who is dealing with autism, if you have a kid or an adult who's living with, ADHD, if you have anyone who wants to optimize behavioral mental health, this is a product you don't think about. This is something that you bring about. That means you take it. Yes. And our goal in this moment of time is to share with you information why we say you want to take it.
Right. Absolutely.
Right. So now you know what this is about. So listen to the conversation and the presentation that we provide, because our goal is to help you see the value in taking this product. You know, sometimes when I'm talking, Susie, I feel like I should be a preacher.
You're definitely preaching right now. You're on your way.
No, I'm serious. Like when I'm doing talks, sometimes I'll be in front of 5,000 people. And in the moment, they don't realize it, but I'm sitting there going, am I supposed to be preaching? I mean, they say you're supposed to be called. So in my own way, I am preaching.
Yes.
Okay.
We're preaching some good news here. I'll tell you that.
All right. Well, if you don't mind, and we've done a post and I wrote a whole article about this. I took what you shared with me. I put it inside of my article. And if anybody hadn't seen that, you can go to my website at dietfreelife.com, click on like my blogs or Robert's blogs, and you'll see the article where it's titled Supporting Children with Autism and ADHD. So go ahead, Susie, kind of give us an update on the story, your experience.
Yes. And I do apologize in advance, you guys, if I sound like, maybe I don't have all the info correctly, because I'm literally just learning more about the role of omega-3 in autism, ADHD. But based on what I've learned so far, this is mind-blowing. So I'm going to share with you guys the story of, actually, this is somebody that I know, and this family has 3 kids. Their oldest is a 9-year-old autistic boy, and the mom was already looking for an omega-3 product. She was already looking prior to even contacting me, but she found out about us using the Balance Oil that we're going to talk about today through me and my dad. Me and my dad have been using it. My kids have been using it. So she found out about the oil through my dad. And so she reached out to me and said, I've been looking into this. I just didn't know what to really get. I didn't know what to trust, what product to trust. So I'm glad that you're offering this, because I trust you, and I think this might work for my son. So we tested, and his name's Josiah. I was allowed to share his name, which I think we're going to share some pictures too on his writing. But Josiah, we tested him with what we call the balance test. And so this test will tell us if you have adequate levels of omega-3 in the body. For children, you want to be at least at 6%, up to 12. Most adults and children are way below 6%. And so when we tested him, he came back at 1.7. So he was clearly deficient in omega-3. And we started him on the balance oil immediately. Well, within about a month's time, and so mind you, before starting him on omega-3, he wasn't taking anything. He wasn't on any supplement. Before starting the balance oil, he wasn't talking. He was nonverbal. And this is why she was getting really worried, because he's 9 years old, still, not talking. She was looking for solutions. So he was nonverbal. Within a month's time, he started to try to make out some words, try to pronounce some words. And again, this was within a month's time. So he stayed on the oil. Within about 2 months' time, he was starting to actually say words and start to like piece together words and make sentences out of the words. And things started to look a lot better. He even got to the point where he was starting to allow people to touch him, because he wasn't allowing that. He's stage 2, I believe, in the spectrum. And he was also not socializing at school. He wasn't around the kids as much. He wasn't allowing that to happen. And so within about like maybe from month 2 to now we're on month 4 on the balance oil, all of this has changed. He is now a lot more open to being around the kids. He is now talking. He went from holding the pencil like this, like, with a whole hand instead of how you're supposed to hold the pencil, to now holding the pencil correctly. I don't know if we have the pictures now, Robert, or if you wanted to share them later, but I wanted to show you guys his writing. So if you look on the left, you can see that you can't really read the writing as much. And this was actually, the teacher traced his name, and he was supposed to just, write over it. You can see that it wasn't done very well. This is September. Now, if you look at the right picture, the one on the right-hand side, that's him writing his name completely by himself. This is just, again, this is recent. And so we're just like amazed by what has happened with this young boy. The progress he's made. He's actually getting an award tomorrow. I talked to his mom earlier, and he's getting an award tomorrow because he has improved so much behavior-wise that he is like the most behaved kid right now in class. And so the teachers are very impressed. They're amazed. And it's just like, now it's like we have to share with people. She's been sharing it with her mom friends. And I just started working with another family recently with an 8-year-old boy with autism and ADHD on medication. And so I'm just so excited, if you guys can't tell, the impact that this is making on a single family's life, on this young boy's life. And I can't stop talking about it. So there you are.
Well, we can see that you're excited about it, though. and for those of you who are listening, if you have questions, then post your questions. We will have time to go over it. What I want to do today, Susie, is I want to use Dr. Joseph Hibbelin. He has been around. Oh man, this guy's been around forever. And this is him. So you can see he was in the military, worked for the National Institute of Health. He's now retired. You can see him on the right. He's a psychiatrist. He's a neuroscientist. He's done so many studies that as you learn about him, it's going to blow your mind, because he knows the importance of omega-3s. He knows the importance of polyphenols. And there's only one product in the world at this very moment where you can get that, and it's a balance oil. Now, what I want to do is I don't want to make this a selling moment. I want to make this an educational time. So I want to take a step back and give everyone who's here, who watches this video, an opportunity to understand how we got to where we are, right? Because if you go back to the beginning of time, all people who were living from the time humans became into existence had access to water, had access to an abundance of omega-3s. And when I say omega-3s, we're talking about fatty acids. You usually hear omega-3 fatty acids when people say eat more salmon, eat more fish. And that's true. But it's also in a lot of things just coming from the grass. Omegas play a huge role in brain development and cognitive function. And if this is all new to you, ADHD, autism, Alzheimer's, dementia, they are increasing at rapid levels. More and more people, many people on this call, God forbid, I hope it doesn't happen, but are pretty likely to experience dementia or Alzheimer's. That's how fast it's happening. And in the next 10 to 15 years, we will see it dramatically take over and really create havoc in people's homes, because every day, right now, every day, like tomorrow, 10,000 people will turn to the age of 65 years of age. And that's where we're predominantly seeing more people experiencing dementia. And every day we have kids being born, and we're seeing significant increases with ADHD and various health and mental health cognitive challenges, right? To include autism. So this is happening. This is not something that we think is good. This is happening right now. Right. So let's take a step back, and I want to play a short little video. This is Dr. Joseph Hibbelin. And every video that I play for you, I want you to know that these videos of Dr. Joseph were 10 years ago. We've known what we're about to share with you today for years. And unfortunately, you're a doctor. Most people in the healthcare industry, they have not shared what we're about to share with you, but it's been going on for years as far as us being aware of this stuff, but the information not getting to people. I mean, if you look at it, Susie, right? I basically, and I know you don't like me, I'll quit saying this one day, but I talked you into becoming a partner and making available the balance oil.
Yes.
And you have seen all kind of improvements with your dad's eyes.
Yes.
With your own self personally. And now you're seeing your impact, Susie. So the kudos goes to you. Your impact.
Right.
In making that available. And now look at your relative or your friend and these people. Their kids are having a better life because of you.
Yes.
Because of you.
Right.
I mean, this is real.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna watch a short little video. I want you guys to pay close attention, take notes, because there's 5 videos we're gonna play today, and then we're gonna have a commentary or a reaction on each one of these videos. Okay, so here's the first one.
So, as an example of a runaway organ and a runaway organism, this animal goes from birth to 1 ton in 3 years. And what does it eat? Where is its protein source to make all that protein and bone and horn? It comes just from grasses. So protein is not the limitation for growth here. But what about Homo sapiens? What about this form and this organism we have here? Look at this runaway organ. The brain of Homo sapiens is absolutely huge and humongous in relationship to the body compared to other animals. Now, this is a bisection of a rhinoceros. Look at the size of the brain. We believe that the size of that brain, it's not limited by how much protein and how much calcium it can get in its diet. There's no fish in that diet. There's very few oils in that diet, and it makes a very small brain. This is almost all lipids and fats and oils. I got into this story in a brain cutting session in medical school. My Midwestern pathology teacher said, take a gross look at everything. Just step back. Before you look into the microscope and all the details and everything, just step back for a minute and have a look at it and see what it is. I'm looking at this brain in front of me, and I say, well, it's not muscle, it's not bone, it's not hair. What is it? It's fats and lipids and oils. How weird is that? That this incredibly complex metabolic organ that lets us perceive and have emotions and have families is in its substance and in its base fats and oils and lipids. Then I began to learn that the priority for human development, of course, is not protein, it's the brain. 60% of the brain's building material is lipids and fats. Now look at the hand of this child in comparison to the mother's hand. Now, let's look at the head in comparison to the mother's head. This is the priority for early development, is to grow a brain in humans. You can make them into football players or big people full of protein and muscle later on. But you've got to get the development right. And what's so interesting is that the lipids and the fats in the brain, many of them can only come from the diet, and just like the giant squid, come primarily from the sea. Humans evolved here in the Olgavai Gorge around these lakes where there was an abundance of fish and seafood 5 million years ago. And you can see the first tracks of humans emerging from Africa follow the seacoasts. And up to 100 years ago, 98, 99% of the human population lived on oceans and lakes. And if you lived in the Midwest, for example, away from oceans and lakes, well, you could easily become iodine deficient. You know, you get iodine from the sea too. And with iodine deficiency, you can lose 16 IQ points. Well, I posit to you that being deficient in fats and oils for your brain can also be very harmful.
What do you think of that, Susie?
Very interesting. This is stuff that, we don't hear about. We don't see it. We don't hear it. So very, very interesting. Yeah.
And it's about to get even more interesting because when you like, I mean, you're a Christian, I'm a Christian, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's very clear from a biblical standpoint, the importance of fish.
Right.
So just keep that in mind.
Okay.
Right. The brain is 50 to 60% made up of fat.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're getting the right fat, you have better brain power. The brain grows bigger. The bigger the brain, the better the cognition.
Right.
So fats are our friend, you guys. And the fat that we're specifically talking about is omega-3s. It's very important that everyone at this moment in time just take a breath and say, okay, I get it. So you're saying that omega-3s, fatty acids, are very important for development for kids, as well as helping us as adults. If you're not getting a good amount of it, that's not a good thing. And so part of what I believe and what the data is suggesting, Susie, is that a lot of young people who were born with, who are autistic or have ADHD, like a lot of us, part of the challenge is that they don't have enough omega-3, what they call DHA in the brain. And like you said, you did the test. What was his score? 1.7?
1.7. Mm-hmm.
And what is ideal for him and his age?
6% or higher.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we know that 6% or higher for a kid, 8 to 12% for adults.
Right.
Here's the thing I want everybody to think about, especially those who have autistic kids, or those of you who have kids who are living with ADHD. Has your doctor ever done a test of their omega-3 percentage?
Right.
I would be willing to bet you that the people that you're talking to, Susie, they've never had that test done.
No.
Okay.
No.
That is our first sign that we have to take control ourselves. Otherwise, these kids don't even got a chance.
Right.
And we could talk about a lot of other benefits to this. Everyone on this call, everyone who watches the replay of this will benefit from doing a test and will benefit moving forward with taking this product. And if there's another product that has the same combination of omega-3s and hey, go for it.
Right.
We just happen at this moment in time as we record this, we are the only ones that have it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's not selling, that's telling.
Well, I mean, even if they do, if somebody's currently taking an omega-3 supplement, we can test to see how well it's doing. That's the point of this test. It'll tell you how well it's doing.
Exactly.
It's going to tell us the levels of omega-3 that you're at.
All right. So are you ready for video number 2 of 5?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so here's Dr. Hibbland. So we're moving forward. So everybody, we're all on the same plan. We understand that it's part of human development is to have an adequate amount of omega-3. Okay.
Food has a lot of omega-3s. What about rates of impulsive disorders in places where people don't eat seafood compared to places they do? So I did that simple question, right? So here, rates of homicide mortality are 30 times higher in countries where little seafood is eaten compared to where a lot of seafood is eaten. Okay, fine, it's an association. Lisa tells me I should go the next step farther. Well, have these omega-6 fatty acids really changed in the food supply of humans, or are we just making it up? I got the data. I got the data on 273 different foods consumed every year in the U.S. from 1909 to 1999. The U.S. government keeps good records, especially if people have sold it, right? So soybean oil did not exist in the human diet in the U.S. in 1909, 0. And now you can see there's a small trend of this red line going up. You barely make it out. Now soybean oil, as one oil alone, makes up 10%, almost 10% of all the calories in the U.S. diet. And if you're eating a low-income diet, it makes up even more of your diet because you're eating fried food and you're eating the cheap oil food. You're not eating fruits and vegetables and nice Florida seafood. So that has really increased. Soybean oil is about half, 50% omega-6s. Canola oil is, 10 times less here, down there. So, okay, is there any relationship between higher levels of intake of omega-6s and higher rates of homicide? So I didn't look at one country, I looked at 5 countries. And the same is true for Hungary, where they actually shifted over from the Soviet Union 20 years later than we did and increased their omega-6s. Their homicide rates shot up too. So this is the world's diversity from 1961 to 2000 of omega-6 fatty acids going from about 1%, 8 or 9%. It's about a 100-fold difference in the risk of homicide mortality.
Okay.
Wow.
So we're talking about mental health here, you guys.
Yes.
We know that there's a problem with mental health. And let me just reinforce what he was sharing. As you can see here, we are consuming a lot of soybean oil, and soybean oil is high in omega-6. Omega-6 oils, when you're consuming a significant amount of them, which everybody, well, the majority of people in America, Canada, the world actually, are consuming a lot, and we're out of balance. And you can see here, if you just look at the obesity rates, I can show you the same charts with diabetes. I can show you the same thing as it pertains to the blood pressure, where as you see the increase of the consumption of omega-6 oils, you will also see a decline or the increase of obesity, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, inflammation, skin concerns, autoimmune conditions. It is right in all of our faces. And we're seeing the same thing taking place with kids. And this is only the second video. I'm telling you, in a very short period of time, if your eyes are not open, they're about to get really open. So it does help to understand that we have omega-6, you have omega-3. If the ratio is 3-to-1 or lower, you're in the safe zone. The World Health Organization for years has been saying 5-to-1 or lower. Other organizations are saying 4-to-1 or lower. The book, we're saying 3-to-1. Shoot for that because we know that it's attainable. And in 1960, Almost everyone was 3 to 1 or lower. Today, we're seeing 20 to 1, 25 to 1, 40 to 1. What did you recently see in one of your clients or your customers, Susan?
Oh, yes. I recently tested a client extremely high. She was 91 to 1.
91 to 1.
Yes.
And again, going back to the point I made earlier, doctors aren't even doing this test.
Right.
So people are living thinking they're doing well and they're out of balance.
Right.
They are above 3 to 1, and that is not a good thing. Our goal is to get it down. And so when you begin with the test, like in this example right here, this person was 43.8 to 1. After using the product, same as we're going to see with the young kids that you're talking about, people can go to the green. And not only inflammation is improved, not only cognitive functions improved, many things. So this is not just for kids. This is for everybody.
Right.
Everybody can benefit from what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
Everybody. And we're consuming too much omega-6. It's in everything. So we're going to tell you exactly what to look for omega-6. But let's go on to the next video. And in this video, we're going to share some information about drinking, Susie. Alcohol.
Okay. All right.
Because a lot of people don't know it, but if you overconsume alcohol, for instance, it actually diminishes the amount of omega-3 that you have in your brain in the form of DHA.
Okay.
Okay, so this is all building up to something. So stay with me, you guys. This is a short segment, so let's check it out, and then we'll recap on it, and then we're going to start talking about ADHD and some of the things that many of you are interested in learning about.
Another good way we can deplete the brain of omega-3 fatty acids. Another great way is to drink excessively. Here are data on chronic excessive alcohol in rhesus monkeys. We had brain biopsies at baseline here in gray, and then switched them to an omega-3, low omega-3 diet, sort of a convenience store diet without alcohol or access to happy hour every day. And these animals got really bombed every day. And so in 2.5 years' time, DHA went down just by diet alone. And in 5 years' time, with diet and excessive use, it went down by half, 50%. By the way, a drink or two a day is optimally healthy for you. But 8 drinks a day is not healthy for you. Did anybody guess that? I think you probably know that. So for those people who are drinking excessively, we start to wonder, is one of the components of violence and depression among alcoholics, in part because they've depleted their brains of DHA.
Alcohol's a downer. We know that. Interesting.
Okay, that was deep.
Yeah.
Okay, so did everybody get that? I want you guys to comment. Let me know if you got. Okay, here's what I'm hoping you got. If you're drinking alcohol in excess, and I know some of you don't drink alcohol, so I'm not speaking to you about you drinking alcohol, but you may meet people who drink alcohol. So this information will be helpful for you to help them. So if someone is consuming a excess of alcohol, and we saw this with the pandemic, many people started drinking more alcohol than normal. Yes. We saw domestic violence increase. We saw people acting out. We saw people making really bad decisions. They were making decisions on their business. I mean, a lot of negatives from a behavioral standpoint.
Right.
My question and what he proposed, Susie, was it the alcohol or was it the fact that you didn't have as much omega-3 in your brain?
It's been depleted.
Exactly. So it wasn't the alcohol. The point he's making is the alcohol diminished if you had an adequate amount of omega-3 in your brain in the form of DHA. And we know that almost everyone doesn't. So the alcohol took them from whatever percentage to like nothing.
Right.
And then they made bad decisions. I mean, I thought that was a brilliant point, but it does take someone to have be in a place of critical thinking to really get what he just said.
Yes, but that makes complete sense. And I don't know if you can add to this, but I kind of grew up with the idea that if someone starts drinking at a younger age, it really affects their brain development, and it's even harder for them to quit down the road as an adult. Am I
Oh no, you're right. You're right on. What we're talking about is mind blowing. Like, I was on a call earlier today with a bunch of physicians, and because I knew we were going to have this conversation, it was top of mind, so I started talking about it. And all the physicians, I think it was like 7 or 8 of them, they were intrigued. 2 of them became my client for nutrition today.
That's awesome.
And 4 of them ordered the balance test, and they want to take the oil because everything that we're talking about makes sense for them personally.
Right.
And for all of you who are listening, if you need more information, I'm going to encourage you to talk to Susie, reach out to me. We're both available. Reach out to someone who told you about this call, someone who knows. And the reason why I'm saying that is because if you know anyone that has a kid that is dealing with this autistic, ADHD, or you know anyone who's concerned about mental health, anyone, they need to be on balance oil. This is not a sell. This is real talk.
Yeah.
This is sad. Because if you go back to what the first video I shared, from where we were in the beginning of time to where we are now, people are not getting an adequate amount of omega-3. They're not.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't even eat fish, Susie.
Yeah, most people don't, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not eating. So where are they going to get it from? And it's a significant, it's a vital, it's important, it's essential for everything.
Yes.
Man, this is crazy. All right, so let me play the 4th video.
Okay, now you're preaching. Now you're
I'm preaching. Come on. I mean, we got Crystalina on here. When I go back to Indiana, I may have to go and do a sermon. I've done it many times. I've done it many times. Actually, you know, I'm going to end with the sermon because Frank, who is part of our team.
Yes.
You know, Frank took me down the road and educated me. Actually, you know, I'll just tell it right now. Then we'll play this video. So Frank, so we're talking about the balance oil, right?
Yes.
And how it can help kids, can help adults, can help everybody. Frank was like, he goes, Robert, think about it. The balance oil has vitamin D in it. Now, as a nutritionist, I'm thinking vitamin D will help with the bioavailability of the product, right? Helps the absorption rate. But Frank goes, nah, man, Jesus walked everywhere. He constantly got a lot of sun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he reinforces the fact that biblically, getting out there, getting some sun is going to be helpful for vitamin D, right?
Yep.
Then Frank goes, what about the olives? Notice in the Last Supper, olives are talked about all the time throughout the Bible.
Yes.
And where we get the olives, the
polyphenols.
The polyphenols is from unripe olives.
Right.
So that's part of the balance oil. And I was like, okay, Frank, preach on. And then Frank says, fish. Jesus was a fisherman of men, but they went fishing all the time.
Right.
And that's prevalent.
Yes.
Well, guess where we get the omega-3s from? From the fish.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, balance oil is ordained.
Yes, it sure is.
It really is.
Yeah.
Because everybody needs it. Okay. I'm going to play number 4. Here we go.
Most vulnerable during early development, we wanted to know whether differences in diet of the mother during pregnancy, especially for fish, would affect the long-term outcomes of their children's behavioral health. So this study, I was privileged to collaborate with, recruited more than 14,000 pregnant mothers and kids. It's the largest study in the world. The kids are actually now about 23 years of age. Professor Jean Golding is now sort of the equivalent of Dame Jean Golding for this. They didn't, just knight Mick Jagger. They also knight important people and call women dames. And here's the kids. And here are some of the data. So here on this line, we have increasing levels of omega-3 fatty acids the mothers were eating in pregnancy in 6 different groups. And here, so the mothers eating the most seafood, 14% of their kids had low IQ. Here, verbal IQ, measured at age 8. And here, when women were eating no seafood in pregnancy, 31% of their kids had low IQ. It's a doubling of the number of kids in the population that have low IQ. That's a problem. Now, this effect absolutely overwhelmed any effects of mercury. Mercury, you might expect, methylmercury you could expect to lower the IQ about 0.01 IQ points. Yes, methylmercury is a toxin in seafood. You can expect IQ to be lowered 0.01 IQ points. All right? You can become omega-3 deficient and lose 6 IQ points.
Yeah.
You can choose whether you want to lose 6 or whether you want to lose 0.01. At any rate, so.
I have to pause there, you guys, because I want everyone to get what he just shared. Because you'll meet people that will say, because there was a movement, Susie, I don't know if you knew this, but there was like a really big movement with physicians saying,
Yes.
don't eat fish because it's high in mercury.
Right.
When they told people not to eat fish, a lot of women, when they got pregnant, didn't eat fish. They saw a significant increase in autism and ADHD with those kids because those moms didn't eat fish because of the concerns of mercury.
Yeah, I was one of them. I remember staying away from fish during my pregnancies. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. It's like,
Well, I wish I
because-
would have known all of this, right? So
right? Like in
yeah.
the world of nutrition, and we've done talks about this.
Yeah.
There was a doctor about 17 years ago who got out there and said, the way we deal with peanut allergies is to not let kids eat any peanut butter for the first 3 years of life. That completely backfired. We have more kids today with peanut allergies than ever in history.
Yes.
That doctor,
The Blind Spots book, you're talking about the Blind Spot book?
yeah, in the Blind Spot book, the doctor talks about that. And that's real. Go on a plane now. They don't even offer peanuts anymore. They've had to completely switch to almonds or no. Because one doctor lied and a whole bunch of them ran with it. And we didn't have the I don't know, the critical thinking to like sit back and go, wait a minute, that is not making sense. But then who are we? We're not the doctor.
Right.
And the same thing has happened when people avoided fish. And what he's pointing out is that they've measured the IQ of kids. So when you're consuming, if you're concerned about the mercury, you're talking about a 0.01, not even 1% reduction. You know what I mean? That's not even significant.
Right.
That's why when I say we're doing this talk, everybody needs to know what we're talking about. Guys, for those of you who are live or you're catching a replay, don't keep this to yourself. Share this with other people. They don't got to buy a product from me. They just need to be informed. And there's a lot of people. I mean, if I had an autistic kid, if I had a kid who is confirmed ADHD, I would force feed balanced oil into that kid.
Yes.
They could scream and shout and holler. We're taking that damn oil.
Yes.
And for any parent that's not, like I know parents right now that I shared this with, I said, we're going to talk about this. They're not here. and they won't even watch the video. And that's sad. We can't help everybody.
Right.
There's a lot of irresponsible parents, and they've just given up. They've checked out. They can't even handle. They're barely dealing.
Right.
And that's sad. It just that makes me sick personally. So this is where you have to soften it up, Susie, because I can get pissed off.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes either people they don't believe, in what we're sharing here. Maybe they don't think it's gonna work for them. They think we're just trying to sell them on. It's like when you see this, how much it's impacted people, different areas, different health challenges, going from rheumatoid arthritis to autism to eye health to skin health to hair health, joint health. It's like, could we really be making this up? I mean, do your own research. Look into what omega-3 is. What does it do for your skin? Omega-3 and skin health, omega-3 and fatty liver, omega-3 and high blood pressure. Do your own research. Don't take our word for it, but do your own research. You're going to find that what we're talking about is accurate. So, and
it's really sad because I was talking to someone earlier today before the group of doctors, and I was like, it really is a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Because why are people not aware of this? I believe it goes back to the Rockefeller days. I believe that when they discovered the omegas, I think it was in 1929, that once they saw the deficiency, it's like, oh, you know what? It's not going to kill people immediately. People can still live and they can still kind of function. They'll never be completely healthy, but there's no need to solve this like we did when it came to folic acid. Right? When we saw that a lot of kids were being born with spina bifida, they were like, okay, well, we need a growing population. We don't need kids coming out with spina bifida. So let's fix that. And that's when they fortified all the foods and started adding folate and folic acid. So I know that as a nutritionist, right? And that's just in the space that I'm in.
Right.
And here we are with the omega stuff. We're sitting back going, hell, how are we going to fix this?
Right.
You got a growing population. There's not enough food on the planet to make it. A lot of people don't even eat fish. And if they do eat fish, they destroy it because they deep fry it in omega-6 oils that cause inflammation. So we're eating contaminated fish that would have omega-3s in it, but we don't even get it because it's contaminated.
Right.
Unbelievable. What the hell? And then I talk to pastors of churches, and they don't even get it. They piss me off more than anybody because I feel that it's their responsibility. If you're going to get out in front and you're going to lead people and people come to you for help, you need to educate them. You need to help them. Yeah. You need to give them knowledge. And as the good book says, our people perish for the lack of knowledge.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. You know I'm on fire over here. All right, hey, we got 12 minutes left, you guys. And thank you guys for all being here. Stay with us. Okay, I got this. Let's finish this video, and then I have the last one, and then we'll close out.
I did a naughty thing, and that was that I tested the U.S. government's advisory to limit women's seafood consumption, and I tested in the population and found that when women were concordant with the advisory and eating less than 12 ounces a week, all of their children appeared to be harmed. Telling women not to eat seafood in pregnancy did not protect their kids from methylmercury. It made them deficient and made them worse. And it spreads to other domains of development. Here are fine motor scores, like holding a, pointer, I guess. Here's pro-social scores and peer interaction scores. All the time the moms are eating less seafood in pregnancy, we see problems with their kids later on in development. And now we have data on the kids' conduct disorders and aggression and delinquency.
Wow. That says it all. I mean, everything that I've seen so far, everything we've talked about, that just says it all. And the pictures say it too. Again, the one on the left was traced for him. He could still not really do it. One on the right can write it on his own, clearly. So getting an award for much better behaved, socializing with the kids. Yeah, this is amazing, Robert. Like, and yes, you did have to kind of push me, convince me to do this. But I had my own, um, I guess preconceived notions of what I was getting myself into when it came to direct sales. Because let's just say this is a direct sales company, network marketing company, and so we can have sometimes preconceived notions on how this would work. But once you see and understand what this is really doing, like why we need this and what it's impacting, it's like a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer. So
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, there's a part of me. I mean, it really drives me crazy when. Okay, so if a person is not given an opportunity to live and thrive with their life because of ignorance, it absolutely drives me crazy. And
Right.
as we discovered this company, Zenzino, and this product, I
Right.
mean, trust me, I like to make money. I'm
Yeah.
all about it. Money's great, vacations. I'm the first guy dancing at the pool party. But this shit drives me absolutely crazy because so many people have kids and are living life without the option to know that things could be better. If
Right.
you have the option and you choose to be neglectful, I'm okay with that. That's your choice. But when you have people who don't even have the option for better, that's what breaks my heart. It I mean, more than anything, it's like, don't take away the opportunity for me to
Yes.
have better.
Yeah.
And it really breaks my heart. And if you think about it, Susie, we share that and our
Mhm.
coaches share that. The people that I believe that are here that are sharing it, I mean, I don't know exactly about them, but I just know that I didn't know anything about no compensation plan. I don't know anything about a whole bunch of this network marketing shit. Right? All I know is that these guys have a service by getting a test
Right.
and there's a product. It just made sense.
Right.
And it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart daily
Yeah.
because we're small, man. How are we
Yeah.
going to get the word out?
We need more people to get the word out. Absolutely.
Anyway,
Yes.
I think it's hey, you guys, I'm all man, so I don't just tear up for any reason. Keep it real.
No, I know. I know.
I'm glad I'm not on camera right now. So I have one last video and then we're going to close it out. You guys, thank you for being here the whole time. Again, the replay will be available. I will upload it on our YouTube. I'll upload it on Facebook, but you can always share the YouTube channel. Okay. So let me see. Where is number 5? Let's keep it alive. Like channel 5. Oh man. Anything else before I share this last video, Susie?
No, I think we've talked about a lot of great information here, and I think I'm seeing it in the comments. People are very excited and grateful for what's been shared. So,
Okay. Well, here
yeah.
it is. There's one more. You ready?
All right.
Okay, here it goes.
Oxford Derm study, a randomized trial of dietary supplementation with omega-3s in developmental coordination disorder, that's sort of clumsy kids, 117 underachieving kids aged 5 to 12 from mainstream schools. And they all showed specific difficulties in motor coordination. 44% were behind expected achievement in reading and spelling. 30% scored in clinical ranges for ADHD. The active agent here is in red, the omega-3s. Going to the right of 0 means that they improved. Going to the left means that they got worse. And green was the placebo. You can see improvements in ADHD symptoms, in hyperactivity, in inattention, in Connor scores, in stuff I love, restless and impulsive behaviors, Connor scores, and and cognitive problems and oppositional problems. Now, as well, the group that had problems with reading and spelling, you're not going to make smart kids brighter. You're going to take the 10 to 20% of the population that's really having problems and bring them back up to normal. So here, these kids were given the omega-3s and for 3 months, and here in the active group, the reading age improved 9 months worth in 3 months of supplementation. In the spelling age, you'd expect it to improve only 3 months, but it improved more than 6 months. And in the placebo group, it was exactly as you'd expect for reading and actually spelling. They didn't make their achievement level for 3 months. This has now been replicated in several different trials in kids with specifically learning and spelling disorders and problems. It has nothing to do with the immense amounts of French fries and junk food available to kids, though, right? Sorry.
I hope everybody gets the sarcasm that he has.
Yeah. I like it. He's funny.
So there's sarcasm, you guys. We're almost done. There's some sarcasm there. Because with the French fries and a lot of the fried food, that's high in omega-6, which is not helping. Okay. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out. Okay.
So learning is easier when your brain is well fed, is Alex's message, and that, I think that's quite true. As important I think this is to our larger society, it doesn't affect political change very fast. So I've asked more provocative questions. Can we really see an impact in the worst behaviors? I count things like homicides. I count things like suicides because they are terrible things and they're terrible outcomes, and I can count them. And if I can impact those, then all the other good stuff should come along with it. So let's ask about this kind of question.
So you guys, there's some things that I could share with you, and I know we're limited on time, but he did a study, multiple studies, but they did one with prisoners, and it was significant, meaning they gave one group, thousands of people a placebo, and then the other 1,000, they gave them a quality omega-3. And what they learned after a year is that the prisoners who got the omega-3, they had reduced poor behavior by 37%. 37%. And when you look at that, you go, okay, and they had a whole bunch of things in place. If a prisoner acted out and hit another prisoner or stabbed a prisoner or did something bad, you got more legal processes. The cost of that is so significant. More likely, and then if he gets extended time in prison, let's say 5 extra years, 3 years, 10 years, you're looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars. And all we had to do was give all of the prisoners a quality omega-3. There are men who are acting out and hitting their wives because they're unbalanced when it comes to mental health.
Right.
There's a lot of kids acting out, doing bad things. They're imbalanced. This is the part where we're going to start to have fun, Susie, over the next couple of years, because I'm going to be talking about it. I'm going to be writing about it. We're going to get the word out because we are a country in decline. And day one, when I'm sitting in front of Robert Kennedy, when he becomes the secretary for the Department of Health and Human Services.
Yes.
That's one of the first things I'm going to bring up. And I'm willing to bet you that he's not aware of that. He's aware of the seed oils.
Yes.
But he's not aware that we're deficient in omega-3.
Omega-3.
So get ready, everybody. Like if anyone was going to be a partner with this company, now is the time.
Absolutely.
Because we have a product that everybody benefits from.
Yes, I can't wait.
So let's finish this and then we'll close out. You talk a lot.
The U.S. military has been very interested in this question because I looked at suicidal behavior in in active duty. And they have a problem with suicides. And they know that if they want to improve and reduce suicides, they have to impact this high-risk behavior. These folks with violent crimes, commingling behaviors, alcohol problems. They want to know, what can we do to intervene here? So for general health, I can tell them that 30 international scientific and government bodies already recommend increasing omega-3 fatty acid intakes to fish 2 to 3 times a week or a gram or day.
I mean, can we all hear that? You're talking like all over the world. This video is from 10 years ago. They have studies going back 20 years ago. It is obvious of the importance of omega-3. I doubt if even the Zenzino, the people who run the company, like, they get it and they got a great product, but I doubt if they really understand how amazing this product is.
Right. Yeah, it's just mind blowing. Everything we're seeing here is just, it's absolutely mind blowing.
Anyway, I'm gonna stop the video now. I mean, there's more to it, but I don't want to keep everybody stayed here way longer than I thought. And I just want to say thank you guys for being here. If you have questions, reach out to Susie, reach out to me. We are here to help you. Reach out to the people who told you about this. We have partners. Frank's a partner. Geraldine's a partner. I mean, I see a lot of our partners. Amy Prime made it today. There's a lot of great people here. And I want to say thank all of you for making time to hear what we had to share. Thank you, Kristalina, for being here. I mean, seriously, everybody. Sujin, thank you for being here.
And I want to give a shout out. I think Josiah's mom made it on. So Maria, if you're still watching, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Maria. And maybe, Susie, we can invite Maria on a podcast where we can just talk to her.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
I'll
get with her after.
I mean, I think this is, it's funny. Like, I have one of our partners, a guy named Todd. Todd introduced me to this woman, Tamika. She has a child who has autism, and she decided to do something. And so she created a Facebook group that has almost 100,000 parents of kids who are autistic and living with ADHD. Kudos to her. I mean, I don't think she made it here. I don't even know if I invited her, but I'll send this to her. And I mean, I don't like people being bullied, Susie.
Right.
And I feel like if you were told, like, you were bullied, in my opinion, because when you were pregnant, they told you to kick back on the fish. That was misinformation.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I would want to, like, go and, like, find that doctor and say, dude, you gave me misinformation.
Yes.
Oh
yeah, I have a lot of stories like that, unfortunately, with the medical community. So
okay, well, I mean, but now your kids are taking the oil, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. They started taking the oil about the same time as I did. I tested my son. I should have tested my daughter, and I didn't. I do regret that. But I tested my son. He was also insufficient. Ratio was out of balance. Just to give you guys, I know we ran out of time, you guys, but my son, we were just talking about this week because his skin has improved tremendously. We deal with where we struggle with a condition called keratosis pilaris, chicken skin, which I once again didn't know omega-3 could significantly improve the condition. Well, his arms have cleared up tremendously. Like, it's almost gone at this point. Acne, doesn't really get much acne. Even his friend, his wrestling friend, I'm sorry, not his, one of his best friends said, what's up with your, like, you never get pimples. Like, what, like, do you do something? And he actually shared the balance oil with his friend. He's like, so you take oil and this is why your skin is looking kind of good. So I'm telling you guys, it's like, it's just life-changing. This is absolutely life-changing. So, yeah.
Well, I was on the airplane. A lady looked at she rubbed my face and said, hey, you have really good skin. I go, yeah, what's up? That's a joke, everybody. Oh, I do want to give. Hey, look, Maria Morales was here.
Yes, Maria. Yes, thank you for joining us, Maria.
And she was here from 5 o'clock.
Yeah, there's.
All right, so Maria, I'm glad you were here, and thank you for sharing your story with Susie. I mean, hey, big shout out to you, big love, and congrats for making, I don't know, doing what is necessary to help your kid. I think that's amazing.
That's great.
And Frank was here, my man. Frank is an amazing speaker. We got to have Frank on here. We'll be doing more things together. And then we got Crystalline. She says, "Can you tell us where results come from in the email? Can you tell us?" Yeah. So Crystalina, we need to talk because so you can go to zenzinotest.com and put in your unique code, and then you can get your results. So, but we'll talk tomorrow, and I will go over all of that stuff because the results do come from Zenzino, but they come from a third party called Vitas. And again, that's just another winning attribute to why this company is amazing. Yep. And I love it. They're giving it to us because they could have just done this themselves. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So anyway. All right, you guys. Thank you. Thank you for staying up. We love everybody. And thank you, Susie. As always, you're amazing.
Well, thank you. You are too, Robert. Thank you for always pouring your heart into everything that you do. It's appreciated. So.
Well, thank you for saying that publicly because I don't get that often. When Susie calls me, it's like, damn, what's wrong with you? Like, dang, I mean, be nice. So, Susie's a God-fearing woman. She's a good lady. So actually, I need to get you in touch with Crystalina because she's a God-fearing, amazing woman. It's from my home state of Indiana. I think the world of her and her husband. They're good people. Like it was so amazing to go back there. So same as it was in Arizona. Sujian's part of the team. Like she is, you're gonna love her and all the people that she knows. That's the part I guess I like about network marketing. You know what I mean? Like you get to meet really good people.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's my favorite part too. Yeah. All the new people you get to meet and work with. Yep.
All right. Well, anyway, we can do this forever, you guys. Good night, everybody. Love you. And the replay will be available. Go to our YouTube channel. Email me if you want a copy of it, but share this with other people. Tell them, give yourself an hour, eat dinner, listen to this. And then people will get a better understanding of why we are all so excited about it. Yes. Until the next one. Peace out.
There's a new way to see. No more counting calories, just living free. Robert Ferguson's got the plan you need. With diet-free life, it's the key. No more starving, getting rid of inflammation. Choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information. Bringing balance to hormones and insulin through food. With DFL, teaching you food choices to see you through.